Last week is another interesting week in the forex market where we saw the US dollar rally against the major currency after we have the lower than expected CPI last couple of weeks and the PPI that dragged the US dollar lower against major currency. But last week we saw the US dollar gaining back its momentum after the uh, strong data, which the Fed proposed that they might comes for another rate hike this July. And the global currency concern dragged the SND to the bottom of the table last week, and where this means that the US dollar is the strongest currency last week against the major currency pairs, and the SND is the weakest currency last week. So this is the weekly forex forecast. So before we continue with the technical, let's check the economic activities of last week, how it affects the forex market, and the economic activities this week, how it will actually affect the forex market. Last week on Monday, there's no much fundamental activities on Monday, but on Tuesday we saw the CPI print, which the CPI print of the Canadian dollar, which comes out better than expected, but the month over month one comes out weaker than expected right there. And on Wednesday everything was going on well for the pounds on Wednesday, but everything turns to the downside after we have the negative CPI print, which comes out 7.9, and then the forecast is 8.2, while the previous is 8.7. So it comes out to be lower than expected results of the CPI print on Wednesday, and we see most of the JPY PS decline to the downside. The GBP SND decline to the downside. GBP JPY first decline to the downside, and GBP USD too have a sharp decline to the downside after this CPI print on Wednesday. And on Thursday, early hours on Thursday, the unemployment news, which comes out better than expected, and the employment change drag most of the AUD pairs to the upside. That is AUD USD, AUD JPY, and other AUD pairs except from the AUD Swiss franc to the upside in the early hours of Thursday, which did almost like 60, minimum of 60 pips to the upside in the early hours of Thursday. And then we saw the decline at the late hour of Thursday in most of these AUD pair as a result of the global growth concern. So this week, what are we looking out for in the forex market? Let's check out on Wednesday we have the Fed interest rate, that is FOMC statement, which they propose 25 basis points, but there is a high probability that they might go higher than this 25 basis points because the previous one is 5.25 and then they propose 5.50. But before that, we have the flash manufacturing PMI, German manufacturing PMI on Monday in the euro. So this one you have to be very watchful of it because it is a high impact news, and then it will actually move the market. So after that, on Monday we have the DBP flash manufacturing PMI 2 on Monday. So we have a lot of economic activities next week, a lot, especially in the United States dollar, in the euro, and then in the pounds. AUD too is not left out of the game. So let's see how it goes, because there's a lot of fundamental activities lining up for next week. As you can see it, we have the euro manufacturing PMI, we have the pounds manufacturing PMI, we have the US dollar manufacturing PMI too. All of it on Monday, and then the CB consumer confidence in the United States, we have it on Tuesday, and you have to watch out for the AUD CPI on Wednesday. That is the CPI, the consumer price index in the Australia. So on Wednesday we have the FOMC, and it's one of the biggest news of the month, the federal fund rate, the FOMC statement. And the FOMC have been proposing a rate hike, so they want to go for rate hike. So obviously they might go higher than this 25 basis points. So let's see how it goes. on the FOMC fund rate. And at the beginning of the news, at the beginning of next week, we might not see much movement in the US dollar, except maybe if this manufacturing PMI they drop, if it to actually move the market, because it is also a high impact news. But I'm expecting a pullback in the US dollar, that is in the DSY, because we've seen the DSY going to the upside. So I'm expecting a pullback before Wednesday. Maybe after the pullback, we might now see on Wednesday, we might not see, after the rate hike, we might not see a bounce to the upside, which means that a continuation of the US dollar strength on Wednesday. So that's what I'm looking at on this US dollar. So after the FOMC on Thursday, we have the Euro monetary policy statement too. That is they are also proposing a 25 basis point in rate hike. So that's what they are proposing here, from 4.0 to speculative of 4.25. So let's see how it goes. But in the ECB Governor Council member speech, he said that that the September rate hike is not a done deal, and actually maybe this July rate hike too might not be a done deal. So let's see how it goes right there. But he talk about September right there, so not July. And on Thursday too, we have the advanced GDP too in the United States dollar. So this week is solely for US dollar, because we have the FOMC statement, the manufacturing PMI, the advanced GDP, and it is a high impact news, as you can see. It's right there. And then on Friday, this week is a very busy week. On Friday, we have the BOJ monetary policy statement too. Yeah, so they want to drop their own interest rate too. So their interest rate is at minus 0.10, and they want to go. They don't want to increase or cut the interest rate, so they want to go with the previous rate. So that is what they want to do right there. And then at the late hour of Friday, we have the core PCE price index in the United States dollar. So watch out for USD PS this week. There will be a lot of volatility move in the USD pair, in the GBP PS, and then in the Euro pair. So most of the currency you have to watch out for this week. There are two currencies you have to watch out for. You have to watch out for Euro USD, GBP USD, and then probably Euro JPY, the GBP JPY, and then probably you have to watch out for US dollar, Japanese yen. So AUD is not left out of the ratio, but I don't think we are going to see much move on AUD after the drop of this CPI news. Maybe there will be, but I'm not really sure about that. So the currency I've dropped are the currency that you have to look out for this week, because there will be a lot of volatility in that currency pair. So let's go to the technical. So last week, after the strong data in the US dollar, so we saw the US dollar, the DSY, bounce off this particular low. So if you look at the chart pattern, this actually serves as a support level right there, and then we saw the bounce at that level in the DSY. So if we let's use the daily time frame, actually you might actually see a pullback in the next couple of days. Maybe from Monday to Wednesday, we might see a pullback from this level, because this level is a very strong resistant level right there. So we might see a pullback back to this level. From here, you might see a pullback back to 99.90. Maybe from Monday to Wednesday, we might see a sharp drop. Maybe after if the manufacturing PMI comes out below expectation, then we might see a sharp drop. Yeah, and this might give the Fed more energy for rate hike on Wednesday. So after the rate hike, then we might actually see the DSY going back to this to retest this resistance level of this particular trend line right there. But be expecting a pullback maybe from Monday, Tuesday, and then maybe on Wednesday we might actually see the rejection at this level. But there are two things involved. The rejection might actually stop at this level or come back to retest this level. And another thing is that we might see the formation of double bottom here before the move to the upside. So let's see how it goes right there. So the first way we want to check is the let's check out the gold. Last week we saw a rejection from this resistance zone. As you can see, this level is a very strong zone right there because market reacts at this level a lot, and we have a big rejection to the downside right there. So if we were to mark this level, so what are we looking out for in this in the gold? So first of all, we have a breakout of this trend line to the downside, and then the first visible support level is here, and then we have a minor support here which might actually push the price to the upside before the rejection right there. So here there is a break of this neckline to the downside because it's actually from a double top at this level, and we have this neckline break. You know, this is a break of the neckline if you actually study the double top very well, and then this is a retest, and then we have a rejection already. So there's another thing we have to look at this point. There is a break of this level, and there's actually a retest right there to this level. So it's looking like we have break this level to the downside, which means that we still have more downside to go. So let's zoom it. So what I'm looking at is for you to maybe come back to retest that area, come back to retest this area, then reject to the downside. So it seems that we might retest this broken neckline, and then you see the move to 1906 because this trend line has been broken already, and then this might actually push the price to the upside a little bit before we see a break of that area, of that level. So you might see a move to this area, then a break to 1906. That's what I'm looking at for on gold. This because this area is a very strong resistance level. If you check the 4-hour time frame, is a very strong level of resistance right there, which price react to a lot of time. So using the 1-hour time frame, you might actually see a retest of this area before a rejection there. So I'm looking for a move to 1906. So I'm on sell bias on gold. So you can drop your opinion in the comment section. Let's see what you think in XAU US dollar. So the next pair I want to check is GBP USD. So in GBP USD, we're actually expecting a pullback. Last week we enter the trade from the break of this trend line right there in the Telegram channel. We wait for this to break, then we enter it. We actually take our profits here because this is the take profit level I dropped last week. So if you're not in the Telegram group, you can there's a link in the description box. Just click the link and join the Telegram channel. So the next thing we want to look out for on US dollar, let's zoom it further. Actually, this is what we trade. So we should be expecting a pullback from this area, and then let's remove the drawing. we are at a critical area at this level, and then if you put the puzzle together, you can see that this area might actually reject at that particular level, because this is an area, not actually a line. And then if we go back to the 4-hour time frame, so this is what I'm looking at on GBP USD. For it to come back to retest this trend line, or we might actually see a fake breakout and then break to this particular, because there is a level here it might come to retest before it actually go back to the upside. So two things might happen here. We might see a retracement to this level of 1.28 1.28213, or create a fake breakout to 1.27 to something right there, because this is a very critical level right there. And then the O bias is to the upside in GBP US dollar. But if the Fed actually hike their interest rate, then the buy bias might not last long. So we might actually see something like this, and then another break to the downside right there if the Fed actually hike the interest rate. So from Monday to Wednesday, we might see a move to this area, and then maybe a sharp move from this area to the upside, which might create a long weak rejection candle and then to the upside. So if the Fed raise their interest rate, which means that the US dollar will be strong, then we might see a rejection from this level to the downside, then actually back to this level right here. So the next pair I want to look at is Euro US dollar. So last week too, we dropped the Euro US dollar. We dropped the sell bias from this area, and then actually come down to hit the take profit. So let's use the daily time frame to know the next direction of this particular pair right there. So yeah, it has formed a doji candle in the daily time frame, as you can see, which signify or indicate a reversal candle right there. So let's see the next direction in the Euro US dollar. And then this is what I dropped last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks that we might actually see a rejection from here, and actually we see a rejection from this top, we see a rejection from this place to the downside. And if you actually use a Fibonacci retracement, this might actually be a 50% Fibonacci retracement level. So there are two things that we should be looking at this area. We should be looking at for a retracement to this level, then a continuation to the downside to come and retest all-time low at this particular area, because this is a very strong support level, and then this resistance level too is a very strong one. But we might actually see a pullback in the beginning, let's say from Monday, Tuesday, then after the Fed drop their interest rates, they might actually come back and they retest this level in the next couple of weeks. So let's use the daily time frame and see where our entry might actually be. So yeah, stylishly, if you check the 1 hour time frame, it's creating a double bottom right there. It's creating a double bottom at this level. So here we should see a rejection to the downside at this particular, because the O bias is to the downside for now. So this is the level I'm looking at to sell GBP US dollar. So we might see a move to this area, maybe from Monday, Tuesday, but after the interest rate hike, if eventually the hike the Fed hike their interest rate on Wednesday, we should see a decline from that area to the downside to retest this level of so you have to watch out for this pair this week, because we have the euro news too, the euro monetary policy, the PMI, and then the US dollar PMI, and then the US dollar monetary policy too. So actually I'm looking for a pullback to 1.11806 and a rejection from there to 1.09648. so that's what I'm looking out for in euro US dollar. So in the US dollar card, this pair gave us some issue last week, because first we actually enter a buy from here, and then our first stop loss is here, it hit the first stop loss, then we came back to enter at this area. So this trade is still running, and then we hope to hit the target at this particular area. So I'm still on buy bias on US dollar card till this week, because if you check the whole picture, the big picture said as you can see, this is a very strong support level, a very strong trend line support level. So actually I'm looking for a buy bias to this particular area, not this particular area, this particular area for now. So I don't know to this area, so I don't know what might happen at this particular area. So let's see how it goes on US dollar Canadian dollar this week, because the odds might turn against the bias at this particular area. This is a very strong level that you have to watch out for. It's very strong, but for now I think we still have the free move to the upside, but maybe at the beginning of the week we might have some retracement coming to this level, then maybe after, but my bias still remain to the upside in the US dollar Canadian dollar. So the next pair we want to check is the US dollar JPY. So you have to watch out for these pairs to next week, because we'll have a lot of volatilities in this pair next week, especially Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then on Friday, because on Friday we have the BOD rate statement on Friday after the US dollar dropped their FOMC on Wednesday. We have the BOJ on Friday. So on US dollar JPY, if you remove all this drawing, we have a naked chart right there. So if you start putting the puzzles together, I think we should see a pullback in this pair. As you can see, if you don't want to if you want to really do it, this is how it is. Here we have the fake breakout twice at this particular area, and then we have this level hold, this level hold, and then this level hold at this particular area. So we should actually see a pullback at either of this level this week. And then if we are to check where the pullback might as you can see, we are almost at the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level. So when you get the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level, you might be expecting a pullback back to this low, or maybe if not back to this low, then back to somewhere around this area before maybe you can see the further push to the upside, because the whole bias is to the upside. But if you want to check where the retracement might actually end, so we might use the trend line right there. So we might have a pullback back to this area of support, or back to this trend line level. So I'm looking out for a pullback in the US dollar, but the pullback I'm looking out for is I might take the trade on the 1 hour time frame or on the 4 hour time frame. But for now I might not do anything unless I see a bias that favor the pullback at either 61.8 level or 78.6 level to the downside. So that's what I'm looking at on US dollar JPY. So the next pair is Australian dollar US dollar. So what we are looking at here is that we have, let's use the daily time frame. No, we have the rejection of this level already, which if you extend it, that area is a very strong level. So, and this level too, we have break into this level, as you can see, break back to this level. So the next level we are looking at is this strong support level. So we might actually see a pullback in the euro US dollar, in the AUD US dollar. So any pullback you see that is still under, is still below this level, is an opportunity for you to look for a bearish setup back to 0.65937. Any pullback above this level, that is 0.67891, and you have a rejection, you should be looking for an opportunity to sell to 0.65937 right there. On SND USD2, I think we have the same thing to look out for in this pair also. So we have the break of this level as well, and then you know, this all-time high got rejected at this area, and we have a massive sell in the last couple of these. So here too, you might look for pullback here, and then back to this to that particular level right there. So let's see how it goes. So any pullback you see to this area is an opportunity for you to look for a bearish setup to 0.611 for it, because the opposite effect might actually comes in at that level right there. So any pullback you see which is still under 0.62392 to be an opportunity for you to look for a more move to the downside to 0.61148. So the next pair we want to check is that GBP US dollar. As you can see, we are in an uptrend, and then we have a rejection to the upside right there. So which means that if you check the monthly time frame, you can see that the O bias is still to the upside right there, and then we can have the negative, the opposite effect comes in at 187.120, because that's the next resistance area we can figure out right there. So yeah, I'm looking after a breakout of this trend line right here. I'm looking for a retest and a move to that level right there. So I might actually have a retest and a move to 187.120 right there. So we have break this trend line to the upside, and then we have what we call a double bottom right here, and then this neckline, if it break, because you might have a pullback and a break of the neckline, so we actually you can see a move to 187.120 right there. So let's go to the next pair, which is SND JPY. SND JPY, you might see a decline in it because yeah, if you check this level very well, we have a rejection of the daily time frame. The first one here, second one here, and then the third one at this particular level, which signifies that sellers might actually come in soon. And then if you check the sentiment right there, this is the support level, and then we are above this level right there. This level is also a very strong support level. So price is still caged between this level right here. So if price, this is what I'm looking at this area. So let's use the 1 hour time frame. So what I'm saying is that price is still caged between this level right there. So any move below this level, I'm looking for maybe a pullback and a rejection to the downside will follow at that particular area. So you might actually use what we call a chart pattern right there to signify where this might actually break to. So any move below this level or above this level. You know, this kind of chart pattern is bilateral chart pattern because it can actually break to either of the levels. So I'm actually looking for it to break to either, if it break to the upside, I'm looking for maybe a retracement and then follow suit, take my profit at this area. If it break to the downside, I'm looking for a retest, take my profit at this area, and if it move further, this is the next profit target right there. So the last pair we want to check is the AUD Swiss franc. So AUD Swiss franc, AUD CHF. So AUD JPY, yeah, sorry, is AUD JPY. This giving us the upward trend vibe, not anything to the downside, as you can see right there. But if we see a reject, because this zone has been broken to the upside at this level, as you can see, we have break this zone to the upside. But if you have something like this, maybe we have a trend line, if this trend line is respected at this particular area, we can see we might see something like this, then a break to the downside at that area, because this level 2 is a strong level right here. As you can see, we might see a break to the downside, so we might see a move to the downside in AUD JPY, especially maybe after the BOJ monetary policy. But the CPI is the CPI prints will come before the monetary policy, and then this is what I'm looking at right here. This level might serve as an hindrance level for the AUD JPY pairs. As you can see, we might have a move to this area and then a more reject to the upside right there, which might give the AUD JPY sellers more strength to push the price to the downside. So this is what I'm looking at in this pairs, and this is the weekly forex forecast. So if you have opinion on any of the pairs where the direction that you think that one of them is going, so you can just hint us in the comment section, so let's learn together. And then this is my own opinion, not a financial advice. This is just my opinion based on the chart, based on the technical analysis and some fundamental sentiment. So if you are not in our Telegram group, you can click the link in the description box and join our Telegram group. That is where I drop my daily analysis, the entry, the exit, and then you can join the premium signal channel too, where we have the 80% to 90% accuracy signal at a very, very low price. So have a good trading week and don't forget to trade safely. And one thing I want to say is that there's a link to the verified broker and the verified pro firm account in the description box too. My Forex fund and my funded FS. So my Forex fund has announced last 2 weeks that they are going for the no daily no time limit, you understand. So you can pass my Forex fund at your own pace, at your own convenient time now. So they have no 30 days. Yeah, they have no 30 days time limit. They have removed their 30 days time limit, and then you have to pass it at your own pace. So it's unlimited days now. They now run unlimited day like my funded FX. So it's a win-win for traders now. So there is a link to their pro firm in the description box, so you can click and register. So have a good trading week and don't forget to trade safely.